So I'm answering this question for Katie. She goes, how do I get a job without the two references? I'm currently plucking up the courage to start applying for new jobs after being stuck in a rut in my current job for far too long. I found a job that I really like and I have started the application process, but it's asking for a minimum of two references. I'm not sure how usual this is as it's been such a long time since I've applied for a big company like this. My problem is I've been working in my job for 5 years and I came straight from university. So obviously my employer is my very first reference. I have no idea who to use for the second reference. I don't feel comfortable approaching my old university tutor, and I doubt they'll even remember me. I don't even have their contact details. I'm an introvert and I'm not a member of any clubs or any societies that I can use for personal reference. Okay, Katie, first of all, stop panicking. Stop panicking about references. You'll find that most companies, if not all companies, especially big companies, will only ask for a reference after you've been given an acceptance offer. Initially, you could put down anything. It won't get checked until afterwards. And even after you get the acceptance letter or offer, you can always change your reference list after the fact. So stop panicking. Just worry about the application form, having a good CV and delivering, and worry about the references later. It's also a misconception that jobs require two references. Even though you go through the application process, it may say they require two references, but many jobs they will bend that rule. Many will accept only one reference. Even the ones that say they require two, they make allowances, special arrangements. They do take into consideration of situations like your own where you've only had one job since university. So I wouldn't let that panic you so much. There's little things they could do if they're a little bit unsure. They can increase your probation period. So sometimes you have a 3-month probation period and they might extend that probation period to say 6 months because you haven't got the second reference. Not all the time, but those are little things they could do to get around this issue. Also, you can use educational reference. You mentioned before your university tutor. If you could get hold of your university tutor, that's great. I'm sure he's willing to give you a personal reference. Also, you could put the HR department. Usually, 9 times out of 10, your HR department will have a generic email address, and you could just use that as your reference. Somebody from HR will reply to the job offer, and they will say that you've worked there for a particular period and you completed your course. I'll say that this is typical. HR do this all the time. I wouldn't say this is like anything special, and they are obligated to respond. HR have got no reason not to respond to a potential employer if they are asking for a reference. You could use 2 references from your current job. One could be from your direct line manager, for example, and the second one can be from your manager's manager or somebody from a different team who is on the same level as your manager. That can also work. On a lesser occasion, you could use somebody that you've worked with generally, a colleague of yours that will vouch for you, that's working that you've worked with within that company. Also, just to think out of the box a little bit, you've only just now started the application process. have you thought about volunteer work? Do some volunteer work for a couple of months, some Saturday volunteer work at a charity shop or whatever it might be. This could be an excellent way for you to give back to the community, but also for you to get that second reference. And you can use it as a fresh reference, as it'll be something new, which won't be stale by the time you land the job offer. So those are some suggestions. Give it some thought. Whatever you decide to do, good luck.